missed breakfast. But what a day. It has been a day of ups and, let's say, downs. Let's start with the downs. We nearly got murdered. I don't want to, be too overly dramatic about this, but we nearly got murdered on a subway train. I say we, it was me. Catherine was very little help. But I'll be honest, in all honesty, it was absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I recorded most of it. Once I realised this was going to get unpleasant, I got my recorder out to record it. So you'll get to hear it later on. Now, here's the thing. It was a guy who I thought was begging. You know, you get these beggars on the tube that come on and they say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry to have to do this, but I've fallen on hard times, and if you could spare some money, that would be great. And he was one of those. I thought he was one of those gentlemen. And I have a real point, when I can and when I remember and when I feel it's appropriate, to make eye contact with beggars. And if I've got some change, I'll give them some change. And if I haven't, I'll say, sorry, mate, I haven't got any money. Good luck. But I make a real point of making eye contact, because I can't do that thing of, you're getting cash out of a cash machine and there's a beggar there. I can't ignore. I can't pretend they're not there. I can't do that. So I'll say, all right, mate, how's it going? Good luck. Hope things pick up. And so I was doing that with this guy. I was doing everyone was ignoring him. One guy gave him $1. But everybody on the train was looking at the floor. In fact, there was one couple that was sat right next to him when he started his spiel about how he was homeless and his 14-year-old daughter was a crack addict and all of this stuff. And there was a couple that was sat next to him and they were laughing. Not at him, they were continuing their conversation and laughing. And so I felt bad for the guy. I thought, this is terrible, the poor fella. So he was at the other end of the carriage, so I made a point of making eye contact with him. Wasn't going to give him any money, because, but for whatever reason. But I made a point of making eye contact. And he came down the other side of the train and stood next to me. And then he started speaking to me. Well, no, he didn't. Then he started, was speaking very loudly. And he said, "Are you grateful? Are you grateful? I can't hear you. Are you grateful?" At that point I went, "Yes, I am very grateful." "Well, I can't hear you. You don't sound grateful." And I went, "Well, I am very grateful, but I'm only saying I'm grateful now because I'm feeling slightly intimidated by you." He then went ballistic. It was at that point that I got my digital recorder out to record it. For two reasons, if I'm being completely honest, allow me to be completely honest with you, for two reasons. Reason one is I actually got quite scared quite quickly, and I thought, if I get out, if I have something that shows I am recording this, then maybe he won't kill me. Genuine thought. The second one was, this is a unique experience to be in. It's certainly unique for me at 44 years of age to be to feel so physically and verbally threatened on a train in New York. I imagine that lots of you, dear listener, won't have been in that position. So I'm going to tape it because it might sound really, really interesting on the radio. Now, Kath's over in the corner. If you're watching on Periscope, you'll be able to see. She's over in the corner, editing that. Let me know when we've sent stuff over so that I know to... What have you sent? Oh, have you sent the man? Oh, Edmundo. Are you there in London?
I am here.
Do you have the recording of the gentleman to which I refer?
I think I do.
Okay.
Can I double-check the title of it?
You can. Yes, what's the title?
I've got the title, The Nut Job.
Yes, that is the title. And
okay.
That is our sensitive handling of mental health issues. Yes, well done, Ed. Thanks a lot. How long is that, please, Edmundo? Okay, we'll play it after the break then. And It did turn out that this guy was obviously seriously mentally ill. It got very, very tense. There was a lot of bad language from him. I tried the engaging with him. I tried the ignoring of him. And it kind of, one of the ends was him leaning over to me going, "You think you're effing scared now? You don't know what effing scared is. I'm going to show you what effing scared is." And I was effing scared. But here's the interesting thing, right? This was on the way to Imani Coppola's. You know I play Imani Coppola's songs all the time. Haters Club from Little Jackie and Raindrops from the Sun and FaceTime Continuum. And so we went to her apartment, and Kath was upset. The woman next to Kath burst into tears. And we went to Imani's apartment, and I said, "Imani, I just got threatened on the tube, on the underground." And she said, what happened? I said, "Well, this," and I told her the story. She said, "Dude, you don't make eye contact with the schizophrenics on the train." And it turns out that there are, I don't want to say loads, because there aren't loads, but there are certainly a number of mentally ill souls that seem to spend quite a lot of time on the subway. Now, we've not been on the subway a lot. We've not been on it very much. We've been using cabs, and now I'm skint. So we started using the subway yesterday, I think. And also, I don't really understand it. It's a very complicated system they've got over here. I think we can improve on it. Anyway, but on the way back, we saw some of these poor, unfortunate souls. Saw another two. There was a guy. The first guy was black, the second guy was black, the third guy was white. And I'm only saying their colour because I'm wondering if there is perhaps there is a correspondence between poverty and people with mental health issues who are not being looked after and the colour of the skin. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. But there was another guy, a black guy, and he was doing exercises on the train. He wasn't threatening, but I noticed his belt and his hat band and things were made out of the elastic strips from underpants. That seemed to be his thing. Everything was held together with the elastic strips from underpants. And he was just there kind of doing press-ups on the seats and stretches and exercises, and he was harmless. And then there was another guy, a white guy, that came through, and he was kind of begging and stuff, and it was really sad. Now, you get beggars in London, of course you do. You get beggars on the train occasionally. There used to be a brilliant guy that didn't have many fingers, but he'd do magic tricks, and you occasionally see. Occasionally, I have seen very vulnerable, fragile, sick people out and about, but. These three blokes today, including the one you're going to hear, me arguing, me engaging with, they were on a different level to anything that I've seen in London. I mean, they were on a different level. And at the end of it, I've not heard the edited version. At the end of it, I may say something inappropriate about him being a loony or something. I know I did at the time. And it was because there was a real sense of relief that he'd gone. Halfway through the conversation, I remembered that they have guns in America. And there was a bit where my heart was going, man. My heart was going, and he'd stepped off to the left of me. And I thought, I need to meditate because I'm shaking. I need to meditate. So I started to meditate. And then I heard him rustling in his bag. And I thought, he's going to stab me. We were coming to a stop. He was rustling in his bag. I thought, he's going to stab me, and then he's going to jump off. Honestly, so at the end, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I don't know if Kath left it in there or not, but I said, I thought he was a beggar. I didn't know he was an actual loony, something like that, which is, is an incredibly insensitive way to describe someone with mental health issues. But it was a real sense of relief that he'd gone, and neither of us had been physically attacked. It was a sense that I needed to kind of gain some sort of control, assert myself again, and the way to do that was to make a flippant, off-colour remark. It just pricked the tension, if you will. It was scary, but it was an eye-opener, man. And I'll tell you what, we're going to hear it in a second. We'll have a quick break. I'll come back, set up the whole stall of the show again, and you'll get to hear it. I promise you, you won't hear anything like this on radio anywhere.
La la la. On Talk Radio. We'll get you to...
We're live in New York City, and we're having the time of our lives. I cannot, stress how much fun we are having. Today we met Imani Coppola, who is one of my absolute all-time heroes. We went to her apartment, and you'll hear that later. Kath's having to edit out quite a bit of swearing. She read my tarot. And then tonight we're off to see Stephen Page at the Sissy Winery, and hopefully we're going to get to have a quick chat with him as well. I need to email John Ronson. Gosh, it's so busy. So it's all been ups. It's all been ups so far, except for this bit on the subway. We decided to take the subway to Brooklyn, from Manhattan to Brooklyn. We took the Q train there, and there was this gentleman, as I said, who was I thought he was just a beggar, and to treat him with respect, as all human beings deserve, I made sure I made eye contact with him. That was a terrible mistake. This is about 2 minutes into it, after I realised this weren't no beggar, and that actually I better have some evidence of it. Let's have a listen to this, please, Ed. I'm not quite sure why your aggression towards me is necessary.
I'm not rushing towards you. You just took it like that.
No,
I'm
you are.
standing right here.
You are. I wish you the best of luck.
And I wish you the best of luck. But it's so sad, right, that I had to get a little bit aggressive. So say that you say.
Well, you've forced me to say something, yes.
No, I ain't forced you to say nothing.
You've made me feel uncomfortable enough.
I made you feel uncomfortable? How do you think you made me feel? You made me feel uncomfortable too.
But you're the one
with
that
the crazy look.
You're the one
with the crazy look.
Now you're being rude for no reason
No,
whatsoever.
no,
I've
no,
engaged
I'm not.
with you.
No, I'm not.
You are. That's rude.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You are.
What have I done that's rude?
No, what have you done? What you doing now?
I'm engaging with someone who's having
and
a
I'm
rude
engaging with you. And having
in
a
rude,
conversation
aggressive
with you.
way.
In a positive way.
No, negative, sir. Very negative.
I can show you negative.
I'd rather not see it.
All right. And I'd rather not hear the bull. I'd rather have for you to be honest with me.
Okay.
Without the bull.
Being honest, you are making me feel very uncomfortable. I would
Without
like
the
this.
bull.
There is no bull. You are making me feel uncomfortable.
I don't care how I'm making you feel uncomfortable. Because you made me feel uncomfortable.
Okie dokie.
All right?
Have a great day.
And you have a great day.
I will.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. Excuse me? Oh. It's so sad, man.
I didn't realise it was... I just thought it was begging. I didn't realise it was... Well, that was uncomfortable.
You asked for help. And you got people that want to be sarcastic. Like it's a game. I don't give a about that. I will break that. Because first of all, you got to ask somebody, do you want a tape? If you want to record them.
I am not engaging in this conversation anymore.
Dude, don't say nothing else, because I can show you better than I can tell you. Wait till stop. I still care about you. Better than Jesus care about you. It's so sad, man. I can never say nothing about it. It hurts when somebody that can't even speak their language to say something that stay strong, hold on. You can't say nothing. How can anyone stay positive?
Imani did say take the Q train if you're feeling brave.
How can anyone stay positive if you don't encourage? How can anyone believe in anything if you don't tell them to believe in anything? You roll your eyes, this and that, always got something to say. Can't be too grateful, man. And I still care about you. When are you really gonna start caring about yourself? Because when you start really caring about yourself and you really start being grateful, man, it comes automatically telling somebody it's gonna be all right. Have a nice day. Then you showed them that God was really good to you. Shit ain't no game, B. We all need help. If we don't learn how to encourage one another, man, nobody's gonna make it, B. No one. Because every now and then in your relationship, you need to hear each other care, B. If not, you start to wonder, do she still loves me? After wondering comes acting out, B. Who wanna act out? You need to let it go, B.
Let what go? I have literally no idea what you're talking about, brother. I wish you nothing but peace and love. I wish you nothing but peace and love.
And I wish you the same.
Thank you, man.
See, why you jumpy, man?
Because you were aggressive, and I would like you to acknowledge that you were aggressive.
I'm not aggressive.
You were aggressive.
No, family. I'm not aggressive.
I treated you with humanity by making eye contact, and I regret that now.
And I regret it. How about that?
Beautiful.
But I don't regret it.
I do regret it.
I don't.
Well, that's your. I'm not talking about you. I'm
talking about me.
I regret it because you have made me feel.
You.
No, you don't.
I still care about you.
Then why have you made me feel scared?
No, I didn't make you feel scared.
Yes, you did.
If I made you feel scared, family, come on, tell that to somebody else. Made you feel scared.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did.
I treated you with humanity by making eye contact.
Knock it off.
I have learned a very important.
I'm
not talking to you now. I have learned a very important lesson not to make eye contact on the underground.
Man, knock it off, man. The underground. See, this is what I'm saying. The stupid that you be saying, man.
Underground is not stupid.
Stupid you be saying. All right, I got you. I'm gonna show you better than I tell you. How about that? I'm gonna show you how scared you are. Show you how scared you are. I haven't seen you scared. I ain't you scared. I'm gonna show you. Now you're scared.
He's gone. Jesus, that was tense.
Yeah.
Probably should have kept my mouth shut.
Well, but the thing was, he was walking up and down, and I thought, I feel terrible not looking him in the eye, but it was terrifying.
This is the thing, I made eye contact with him because no one was making eye contact with him, and I thought it was a sad story.
And the whole thing was, he was talking about how he was having an awful time in life and no one would even engage with him. And then you engage with him and suddenly it was crime of the century. It was nuts.
The bit you didn't hear just before I started recording was him basically shouting at me to tell him how grateful I was for whatever.
Yeah. But he still cares about you, that's the good news.
God, huh? It's literally just dawned on me, they have guns in this country.
Yeah, well, that's what I was concerned about.
Bugger. It was horrible. And when the guy's talking, you can't really hear a lot, hear it. But he was stood right next to me. The woman next to Kath was in tears when we got off the train. Kath started crying. I kind of went the other way and kind of machoed up a little bit, as we do in these situations when when I have been humiliated, and I felt humiliated. I either burst into tears or I start acting tough. And today I went down the tough route. But trust me, I was terrified, and I did genuinely think at one point he was pulling a knife out of his bag, and I had two plans of attack in my head. One was I had a bag with me. One was I had the digital recorder in a bag, and I was prepared to smack him around the head with that. The other one was, and this is advice I've heard from a few people, is when you're talking with a crazy person, you go crazier. If you go crazier, they kind of back down. and we kind of laughed about it after out of relief. But it really did strike me, seeing that guy and seeing the two other guys later on, that you know, us in Britain, we've got mental health issues. I don't think we've got them right at all. But it would appear that because of things like the National Health Service and maybe more talking about things, that it's perhaps not as bad as it was with that gentleman. I don't know. I'm just guessing, and I'm clutching at straws. I don't really know. But that has been the only downside to the trip. That, and I left my sunglasses at Imani's. That's the only downside to the trip so far. Apart from that, it's been brilliant. If you...